Welcome to video 2 on the Geopark Code of Practice system. This video provides detail on the data submission process. Once a business is ready to work through the step-by-step data submission process, here's where they begin. They may edit, amend and update this section as often as they like and save the latest version of their submission on the system. This allows a tourism operator to do a little bit at a time and also to use it as an ongoing project management tool during the year. A code of practice submission is made in 4 steps. First, input consumption data. Second, input customer numbers. Third, provide evidence of performance. And fourth, finalize new action plan. Step 1 is input consumption data. And this is where a tourism operator enters waste, water, and energy consumption data. Only those tourism operators who have a premises or provide transport are required to provide consumption data. To input data, click on Edit. On the top row, you see the various resources that a business might be using. The first tab here relates to customer numbers. The tourism operator is asked to key in customer numbers so that the system can calculate the consumption per person. Notice that there are 3 columns depending on the business type. You may have overnight stays, day visitors, or staff covers. You may have only one type of person, or you may have all 3 types. Staff members are counted along with customers to get an accurate figure of the number of people consuming resources in the business. After customer numbers, there is a table for each resource. The tourism operator can start filling in data for each calendar month. For example, landfill by weight. A business enters the volume and the cost. Using the customer numbers data keyed in on the previous screen, an average consumption per person is calculated. This is called the benchmark. The consumption per person is a benchmark that is comparable across businesses and is also the benchmark against which a business's own future performance can be measured. Step 2 is input customer numbers. The customer numbers data entry option is repeated here. This is the same screen that we looked at in the previous section, and it's the table to record customer numbers by month. At the next stage, the tourism operator provides evidence of performance. In other words, they work through each measure of the code and declare whether or not they are implementing it. Where they declare that they are implementing it, they must provide evidence for same. So this screen opens up with information for the user. For the purposes of this video, I will edit a submission that I have already started. Here is the overview screen. Let's proceed with the measures for one principle. Principle 6b, Sustainable Environmental Management, Use of Resources. All the measures under this principle are listed on the next screen. Click Open All. Let's look at the detail here using just one measure. Measure 6.3.2. We give our visitors information regarding sustainable transportation options during their visit to us, for example, in information leaflets, guest books, and notice boards. A business answers yes, no, or yes and I would like to improve. A tip is included, referring the user to a useful resource. In this case, it's a case study of a business that has implemented innovative ideas in this area. There are then 2 options for entering evidence. The first is a space for text data. For example, this would be useful where the evidence is a website link. The second is an option to upload a document or photo. Suggestions of appropriate evidence are provided, and the member also has a space to enter additional explanatory comments that might help the evaluator better understand the level of activity in their business. All performance measures are laid out in this way so that all information relevant to each measure is available in one place at the time the tourism operator is working through it. Let's go back to the overview screen. Once a business has answered all performance measures, it can then finish and generate an action plan. The action plan is pre-populated with all measures that the business answered no or I would like to improve to. Before submitting, a business will work on this environmental action plan to ensure it includes clear targets. They will input completion dates and responsibilities for all actions and add any further actions that they may also be working on. A submission is only complete once an environmental action plan that contains targets for future continuous improvement is completed and submitted for evaluation. All data and evidence is reviewed by the external evaluator online.